In Christopher Nolan's new film, The Odyssey, Odysseus doesn't just fight monsters, he fights an enemy ripped straight from real history. Mysterious raiders known as the People from the Sea. Here's the wild part. Historians and archaeologists still don't fully agree on who these people actually were. They're one of the biggest unsolved mysteries in ancient history. Today I learned about the real sea peoples and why a 3,000-year-old cold case ended up in a modern blockbuster. To understand the sea peoples, you have to understand what the world looked like right before they showed up. Around 1200 BCE, the Eastern Mediterranean was dominated by massive, wealthy, interconnected civilizations. The Egyptian Empire, the Hittite Empire, Mycenaean Greece, and trading cities across modern-day Syria and Turkey. These weren't primitive societies. They had writing, diplomacy, international trade networks, and armies. Then within a span of roughly 50 years, most of them collapsed. Cities were burned and abandoned. The powerful Hittite Empire vanished almost entirely. Trade routes that had operated for centuries went silent. Historians call this the Late Bronze Age collapse, and it's considered one of the most dramatic civilizational breakdowns in human history. And in the middle of the wreckage, ancient records from Egypt keep mentioning the same mysterious culprits. Groups of seaborne raiders attacking from the coastlines. Almost everything we know about the sea peoples comes from ancient Egyptian sources, because Egypt is one of the only major powers that survived the onslaught. Barely. Inscriptions from the reign of Pharaoh Ramesses III describe a massive coalition of foreign attackers arriving by land and sea, described as coming from islands and foreign lands, overwhelming everything in their path. Egyptian temple walls at Medinet Habu even show carved battle reliefs, chaotic naval combat scenes capsizing ships, warriors in unfamiliar armor and headdresses. The Egyptians named several different groups within this coalition. Names like the Peliset, the Shurden, the Shekelesh, and others. Modern historians think the Peliset may be connected to the Philistines who later appear in the region. But that's about as solid as the evidence gets. Here's the part that makes this a genuine, unsolved case. Nobody knows where the sea peoples came from. Egyptian records only describe them as coming from the sea or from the islands. Vague geography at best. Over the last century, historians have proposed origins ranging from the Aegean Islands to Sardinia, Sicily, Anatolia, or even a chaotic mix of displaced peoples from multiple collapsing regions, banding together as refugees and raiders. There's no surviving text from the sea peoples themselves. We only have descriptions written by the people they were attacking. That's like trying to reconstruct someone's biography using only their enemies' complaints. You get a dramatic story, but a heavily one-sided one. Some modern researchers think the sea peoples might not have even been one unified group at all. Possibly several unrelated waves of migrants, pirates, and displaced populations that Egyptian scribes lumped together under one umbrella because that's how it looked from Egypt's side of the battlefield. This is exactly why the sea peoples work so well as inspiration for Nolan's film. Homer's original Odyssey was composed centuries after the Bronze Age collapse, but it's soaked in cultural memory of that chaotic, world-upending era, a time when the old order of kings and empires had just been shattered by unknown forces from across the water. Odysseus himself is a king trying to sail home through a suddenly unstable, dangerous Mediterranean, which is basically what the real post-collapse world looked like for actual Bronze Age sailors. By working the sea peoples into the film, Nolan isn't just inventing a movie villain. He's tapping into the actual historical anxiety that shaped the world the poem came from. Honestly, maybe not fully. Modern archaeology keeps adding pieces. DNA analysis of Philistine burial sites, destruction layers at sites across Cyprus and the Levant, newly translated fragments of Hittite and Egyptian records, but there's still no single confirmed homeland or unified explanation for the sea people's origin. It remains one of the rare cases in ancient history where we know something catastrophic happened, we know roughly when it happened, and we still don't fully know who caused it. So next time you watch Odysseus fight his way home on screen, remember, the villains from the sea aren't just movie monsters, they're one of history's oldest unsolved mysteries. Got a theory on who the sea peoples really were? Drop it in the comments. I want to hear it. If you learned something today, hit subscribe. New facts every week here on Today I Learned.